I have a question for you, and it's a really easy one to answer. What does your morning look like? What things do you do as soon as your eyes open in the morning and the sunshine is coming in and you take your first breath of the day? What is the first thing that you normally do to set your day up for success of what you want to manifest? So I asked that question because before, personally, the first thing I used to do is grab my phone, jump on X, scroll through, and I'm a big football guy, and I would start looking at all the sports news. That was the first thing I started doing. But the problem with that is not only was I looking at sports, but it's also the idea that there's other posts that come in between all the things that I really was anxious to look at that time, and that is the news. And the news normally doesn't have a lot of positive things to tell us, right? It's a lot, recently, unfortunately, it's a lot of plane crashes and, people killing each other and people, doing things in the middle of parades. And it's just, it's horrible. It's absolutely terrible what's happening out there right now. That is not what you want to start your day, absorbing that information and putting that in your head, because ultimately what you're trying to do is create an environment for yourself where you are preparing for your day with the right mindset, with the right emotion and the right frequency that is going to put you in position to manifest what you want your day to look like, to put you in position to be creative and have that creative mindset, to act and be productive. It's hard to do that when your body is already, first thing, as soon as it wakes up to this earth again and it takes its first breath, within 5 minutes, you're already consuming negative things. How do you think your day is going to turn out? How do you think that start of the day, absorbing negative content, is really going to set you up for the rest of your day? If you think about how you start your morning, and if you start it like I used to, with first thing on the phone, or listening to the radio, and which normally is going to be morning news, it's a lot of bad stuff. It's a lot of things that really we start thinking about that we don't need to be, right? It's a distraction. So how you start your morning is really important. And once I realized the biggest difference between analyzing how I was waking up in the morning with my phone in my hand, or waking up in the morning turning the TV on to the news, which ultimately isn't that bad if you're just trying to look at the weather and stuff, but that first 45 minutes to the hour of the day is so vital to making sure that you are preparing for what you want to accomplish in that day. So instead of grabbing your phone right away, instead of turning on the TV or turning on the radio, or even arguing with a spouse or somebody else in the household, what you want to do is really start processing exactly what it is you want your day to look like. Start thinking about it, start meditating on it, start resonating in the accomplishments that you want to create. And in order to create, you can't have your mind filled with things that are unnecessary or distracting, or taking up space, taking up real estate in your mind where the level of creativity ultimately needs to be. So the less you consume right away, and the more that makes your brain start thinking about negative, the more you allow your brain to have a state of mind where it is going to absorb the good things and the things that you were thinking about that you want to accomplish and the things that you want to create and manifest. So I start my morning out now where I immediately just get up and I thank God for the day. And I look around and I think to myself of all the different things that I feel truly blessed about. And it's everything around me. It's everything. Having a roof over my head, being able to be in a bed, having sheets and a comforter, being able to get up and go in there into the bathroom and take a hot shower, waking up next to my wife. My dog is in my face first thing. Like, I'm blessed to have a dog that loves me and is excited to see me first thing when she wakes up in the morning. There's so many different things to just be thankful for. And if you really look around, there's so many blessings that you could just really appreciate. And that level of being grateful and thankful and just having that emotion and that frequency and being in that moment of just appreciation goes a much further way than absorbing a bunch of negative input, right? And I find that when I start doing that, and I finally get out of bed, and I'll do that for maybe 5 minutes or so, and I finally get out of bed and I go into the shower and I start getting ready, and I kind of like to meditate in the shower a little bit. I feel like being in the shower with the water hitting me, and no one's really around me, and I can't really be distracted by anything, that it allows me to really think, and it allows me to really resonate on the things that I want to accomplish in that day. And that routine has been great for me. I've noticed that as soon as I get out of the shower and I start getting ready, I already feel well prepared and more energized and more clear minded about the things that I want to accomplish. But it's also the fact that even for some reason, for some strange reason, I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, I still feel energized after I do this meditation and after I do this gratitude session as soon as I wake up. And I don't even stop there. I'll be getting ready for work, and I'll still be thinking about not only things I want to accomplish, but more things that I'm grateful for. Being able to put on, have clothes to put on and shoes to put on, so I'm not walking around barefoot, and have a vehicle that I can get into and go to work. Like, I just stay in that level of gratitude as much as I possibly can. And what I notice is that when I do that, I am just allowing myself to feel in a presence where I can be productive and creative and have the energy to do so. Because let's face it, a lot of times when you wake up the first thing in the morning, you're not ready to go. And if you are, good for you. But for the most of us, it takes a little bit of time to really start getting the motor going, right? Getting the engine heated up and not having it in that cool mode. So for me to feel so much energy and so much excitement for the day, right within like the first 30 minutes, that's priceless to me. And that's exactly how I want to start my day. And ever since I started practicing this, I gotta be honest, I haven't really had bad days at all. And even if I have a bad day, I look at it, and to me, a bad day is just when things unfold that I wasn't prepared for, or it's challenges that I wasn't ready to face, or I didn't think I'd have to face. Like, that's a bad day to me. But when I look at the totality of the day, it I don't look at it as I have a bad day anymore. I look at it as, what challenges did I face that I learned to overcome, and now I've learned a new thing. I've learned, how to develop within myself, how to overcome obstacles. Something happened at work and I wasn't prepared for it. And instead of being upset and angry and pointing fingers and blaming everybody else, which is a waste of time, by the way, I took a step back and I started doing some breath work, and I started taking some deep breaths and relaxing. And as soon as I did that, I was able to think clearly. And I was able to really analyze the entire situation and say to myself, what can I do in this moment to make this better? And not only that, but I actually, this probably sounds crazy, and I've heard it from other podcasters, and YouTubers. That's why I actually started trying this stuff, and it definitely works, is being grateful for the challenge, accepting the challenge and acknowledging that whatever you are facing in that moment, whatever challenge it is, whatever difficulty it is, it's for a reason. It's there for a purpose, and it's up to you to take hold of that challenge and say, I'm either going to take this challenge on and overcome it and grow from it, or I'm going to allow this challenge to basically define who I am in this moment when I'm not handling it very well, right? Am I getting upset? Am I blaming others? Am I just throwing my hands up in the air and just walking away from it and not learning a thing? No. Challenges and difficulties come along so we can learn. And if you really think about it, you have probably developed the most in your life when you had things happen that were challenging, when you had difficult times manifest into your life. And what you did in those moments really defined how you took the next step in developing as a human and as a soul. And so that's why the mornings are so important, because in order to take these steps into becoming a much better version of ourselves, we have to take on the challenges that are provided to us. And sometimes the only way to be ready for challenges is to be mentally available for that challenge and to think in a light that you normally would not. And usually it's reaction, right? Reacting with emotion, and that leads to being upset or saying things that we regret, or not taking the proper actions to accomplish whatever set challenge is in front of us. But instead coming from a place of accepting the challenge, being grateful for the challenge, and asking God for guidance through the challenge. We don't have to take these things on our own. And for some of you that are still struggling with faith, and whether it's God, higher power, source, energy, higher self, whatever it is that you guys choose to use with the terminology, asking for guidance goes a much longer way than you trying to figure it out on your own. And when I say that I take a step back and I do breath work and I take deep breaths, I'm also asking God for guidance. I'm asking him to take control of this situation and help me through it and allow me the opportunity to learn from it and understand how this all happened, what took place, and what lessons can I learn from this so it either doesn't happen again, or if I do face this challenge again, I know exactly how to deal with it with the right emotion and frequency. It's hard to do that when you're starting your day off on the wrong foot, because when you started off on the wrong foot, momentum usually keeps kicking you in the butt all the way throughout the day. And the next thing you know, you're hitting lights and you're worried about being late and you're getting mad at that, and you get to work and your outlook won't open on you or whatever it may be. And all these things just kind of keep trailing and snowballing, whereas it doesn't have to be that way. Now, am I saying your days are going to be perfect? No, but what I'm saying is you're setting yourself up to be mentally ready for whatever challenges come your way. And if you're mentally ready, you're going to handle things a lot different, with a lot more maturity and a lot more faith. And with the maturity and with the faith and with that growth that you are doing every single day, you're going to realize that you don't have bad days. You might have difficult days, but those difficulties, again, are the lessons you're going to learn with those challenges. So it's about the mindset. And the other thing I do is on the way to work, I do another meditation. I have a great YouTube channel. Actually, I have a couple of them that I'll just throw on a morning meditation while I'm driving. Some of them, I'm supposed to be very relaxed, but I can put myself in a state where while I am driving, I can still just be doing breath work, relaxing, because the whole point is I want to be well prepared for not only when I get to work, but when I get in front of people and how I'm going to interact with those people. I don't want to be that guy who gets to work and I'm still waking up and I'm, passing by people and I'm not making their day good for them right as they walk by and not saying hello or good morning or, having a smile on my face. I want to be that. Like that's who I want to be for people. And so it's important to me to be a reflection and to be that person where God uses me to make other people happy and make other people feel good because of my positive energy. That's important. I can't do that if I'm starting off on the wrong foot in the morning, because how I also interact with people first thing is also going to set momentum for me for the rest of the day. And I never know what their issues that they're walking into work with are, but maybe me smiling and saying good morning changes everything for them. Just maybe. And I'm not supposed to know that. It doesn't matter. I'm just doing what I am meant to do. And I am meant to bless other people so they can see God through me. That's important. That's my responsibility. And I fully accept it. And I take that responsibility personally. And I have a lot of love and caring toward people. And I know that is just, that's God at his finest. And it's really important that I do these things. One, because I'm trying to stay on a path of my development and my growth as a human and as a spirit. In order to do that, I need to be consistent. And I also notice that when I'm not consistent and I fall off, everything falls off. It's not that I need to micromanage my thoughts and my mind and my life, But it is good for me to be conscious of my not even routines, just the things that I feel like I'm flowing to do. It's not a chore for me to wake up and do these things at all. Like I look forward to it. It feels good. If it was, then I'm probably not in the right frequency of being in the moment to do these things. So it's very important that you know exactly how to start your day with whatever routine makes you feel good. But I can tell you right now, the last thing you want to do is start it off with a bunch of things that are just distractions and they're not setting you up for the success that will be your day. So I hope this video helps you guys. How you start your day is going to be really important. Put in the comments below how you start your day and what changes you would like to make. If you're feeling extra grateful, I would appreciate subscribe and click like. And I'm really committing myself to making more of these videos and helping you guys out. So hope you enjoy them. I'll see you in the next one.